doing it live. Fuck it, we're doing it live.
He's gonna get hit with the bang hammer.
Gus, can I please quote you on the Gamer Girl Russian bath?
Sure. Why not?
Thank you. I'm gonna put it in my personal quote.
Gamer
my
Russian
God.
bathwater. God
Hope
damn.
has a personal quote.
Yeah, I have a personal quote page.
Ah, yes.
Oh no. That
Please
scares
tell me it has a random quote button that you could just pull from.
No, it's a Google Doc. So
Oh,
far,
okay.
I have from my friend Sam. I'm going to be sinful on Pinterest and look up Big Titty Goth GF. Beth, I'm in love with a middle-aged man. My friend Jazz, praise God for OBS replay buffer button. My friend Tentoa, I'm going to teach you to be an effing protagonist, and so on and so forth.
Oh my god.
I only recently just started it too. Literally Monday is when I started this.
I
Oh,
wonder
jeez.
how close you've come to getting a lot of things done.
What is that supposed to mean?
Oh, it means what it means.
I don't know what that means.
Exactly.
I'm gonna say this: if today's session is anything like the past couple ones, that quote list is gonna fill up pretty quickly.
Oh god, the
I'm
global.
counting on it.
You wanna know what the most cursed thing is? How we were talking about Russians earlier? All I just see is Russian text in global chat and in tabletop. Nothing but Russian.
Good thing I disabled global chat. Less because I don't like seeing Russian characters. It's more because I don't know what's there, and it could be compromising information.
You know what? I'm just gonna post this in No Mic saying that they can come watch me suffer.
Bet, do it.
I just
That
gotta
would
wait
do
for
it.
the MacBook to load.
Oh my lord.
I don't know why,
Alright.
but I've just been starting to listen a lot more to Poor Man's Poison.
Poor man's
Romance
poison.
poison?
Yeah, it's a band.
Oh.
Ah, okay.
Did you say romance or bromance?
Where did
yeah,
Neither nor?
Where did you hear?
I honestly heard romance.
Hold on. Hold on a minute.
There will be no holding.
Where did you hear this?
There will be no holding. There will be an explanation as to what you said.
No, I need to know where you.
No. You don't understand.
Shit.
You don't understand. There will be an explanation into what you said. As I am never wrong.
But does there have to be, though?
I don't know where you heard
I'm gonna
that,
swap over to
though.
the cam view so people can see my fucking facial expressions while I shit myself laughing.
I'm trying to just figure
Not
out
literally,
where you
of
heard
course.
bromance.
Can I get some context?
No, context not allowed.
There is no context.
I have been defeated by the oven.
What the fuck?
Defeated by the oven?
I did not manage to turn it on.
How?
He was trying to put. Okay, for context, he was trying to put pizza. He was trying to put pizza in, and he got defeated by the oven.
My god.
You don't understand. It's like a really
The
old
map
oven, and
actually
there's
saved
no
for
buttons.
once. I'm proud of
There is
myself.
no buttons on it.
How do you fight an oven and lose?
There is no buttons. There is no buttons. Mine fine. There is no buttons.
There's two
See, here's the thing. No, in German, there's a reason every book is labeled Mein Kampf, because it's a struggle to turn everything on.
God fucking damn it, dude! Really? I guess that's what I get for fucking pressing the button early.
Here's the thing, right? I look at it and I'm just like, this can't be that hard. Me, 15 minutes later. What the fuck? The thing is, it has like two levers. The first one does nothing. The second one turns on the lights.
Okay, Poppy seems like that person who'd be like who'd be in that meme with the dog and like sitting in the chair and all the fires around him. And it's like, this is
Everything's
fine.
fine.
I don't
Everything is
understand.
fine.
How are you able to like fucking, work with a computer, work
okay,
in
you
a
know what?
fucking
You know what?
kitchen as your job, and not being
Alright,
able to turn
so-
on an oven?
No, Behemoth. I'm gonna
Ladies and
go on Discord on my
gentlemen,
phone
ladies
and
and
just stream
gentlemen,
it.
Jokes on
Okay.
you.
Sorry.
ladies and gentlemen, are we ready to go?
Yeah.
We're
Hold
gonna
on, may I
have.
really
Are we?
quick stream my pizza?
Are we gonna
place?
have like a mini side cam go on real quick, just watching Poppy try to figure out how to work an oven?
No,
Jokes on you. It's
try,
voice
let's try and
activated.
get our D&D session done. Is to actually play some D&D today. What do you think?
Alright.
What do you think?
Someone in the comments, instructions unclear, which currently baking in the freezer.
Thank you, random person in Twitch. We love you
Okay.
too.
So-
That's not a random person. That's one of my best friends.
There's like
I love you too,
these
random
things here.
citizen.
I have still to figure out what they do. And then there's like
All right, let's
there's no
let's
heat. There's no heat
bring
at
it.
all.
Let's
How
round it
the
back in.
fuck does this work?
Let's
I'm
pull
so
it back in.
confused.
How about you just don't care about it for now and make your pizza afterwards? There's more
Yeah,
than
make your
enough
pizza
time.
after the session. Make your pizza after session. You have 2 hours. You can survive 2 hours without pizza.
No, you can't. You can never survive 2 hours without pizza. Pizza is pizza.
Krusty Krab pizza.
So here's the thing.
Yes.
Like,
Let's
this is the most
focus. Let's focus before we really
This is the
derail.
most intriguing
Joke's
part
on
of
you,
all,
the
right?
who's voice activated.
Don't
This
worry,
is the most intriguing
we've
part
already
of all, right?
derailed.
I can turn this lever here, and nothing will happen, right? But I turn it at this position halfway through, and nothing, and the light turns on. So I'm assuming that does something.
And there's no one else who knows how the fucking oven works.
No. Right now I'm currently alone.
Why did you get an oven that you don't know how to use?
This isn't my house.
Oh my god.
As the owner.
Why did you break into somebody's house to make a
The
pizza?
owner that is currently not here.
Oh my god.
Look, you're a hobo in D&D. Don't make it so you're breaking entering in real life. You don't
what do I
correlate
do?
the two.
You know what? Fuck it.
My
Just leave the pizza for now. Worst case, I don't know, commit the fucking criminal sin of warming it up in the fucking microwave. I don't know.
Oh god.
Oh,
Fuck.
goodness.
Oh no!
What does this program do?
These comments in the chat is going to kill me.
Hold on, I can figure this out.
Throw
yeah.
a pen in it, it works too.
Yeah, this is a
Don't
face
throw it in
cam,
it.
by the way. Certain
Isn't-
people in
it's
this
in a
call were insane enough to throw
Oh.
money at my face.
Yes,
don't-
it's a beautiful
hold on.
face.
What you're talking about?
Yeah.
I don't
perfect.
know what you're talking about.
I am.
It's
All
totally-
right, let's
God.
get
I
started.
turned the microwave on.
Okay, finally, after 62 years,
how
he
did I
finally
turn
knows
it
how to work
off?
an oven. Let's start.
How did I turn the microwave off?
Poppy, just leave it for now. Leave it for now. We'll come back to it later.
Okay. How about this? You do what the usual human does and struggle in silence while we get some D&D done. Huh? That sounds like a great idea.
That's an awful idea.
It's what everybody goes through, Hope.
But they don't have to do it alone.
All right.
Oh man.
Oh
So-
god.
Doesn't know how to work an
I-
oven.
I do not condone dealing with things in silence. If you actually do have something that is done wrong with a mental problem, please go see a therapist about it or talk to somebody about it. We do not want you to harm yourself nor anything else to happen to you.
Yes.
Now,
Yeah,
after we've gotten all the now that we've gotten all the discrepancies out of the way,
For a
Certainly.
second, I thought you were talking to me about the mic, like the fucking oven. I'm
God.
like, that's a little bit hard, don't you think?
In hindsight, I don't regret starting the stream early. But yeah, let's get on with it.
We had a short little oven stream. Sub stream right there.
All right, I've given your link out to a few people, so hopefully people will join.
Oh god. Now they get to see how cursed.
Oh
this
boy, what
Oh,
happened
gosh.
there? Oh, did
Did you just
Grape
get
die?
disconnected?
Yep.
Grape, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay,
Oh,
maybe
he's
it's just
actually
me that
alive.
died?
Yeah, it's just you.
Yeah. My Discord just kind of had a little fucky wucky, so we're
Yeah,
good to go.
Steam messed up. Give me a second. I'm
Why
gonna have
are
to
you
restart
allowed to say
Tabletop
fucky
Sim.
wucky, but not us?
Because I'm a
What the
DM.
fuck?
Fuck you.
God. At least the
What
stream
power?
seems to be fine. It's just Steam that has
Yes.
issues.
Yes, Steam sometimes just has a borked up
shit.
proposition.
All right, time to close down
Even
Tabletop
7
Sim, restarting
years.
Steam.
Yeah. So each one of them is special and important.
Yep.
I'm just
All right.
saying.
Getting
Sorry about
ourselves back into today's game.
Just gonna keep it.
After
For a
being
second.
invited by what seemed to have been a elderly drow matron, once to have been seen attacking the city of Port Ivy, one they have been known to protect and, well, champion themselves upon the idea of completing quests and ensuring the populace is compliant with their miraculous games of slaying monsters. As we pick up where our party last left themselves, after slaughtering a couple of what seemed to have been pale dwarves, figured out to have been Duragar by what seemed to have been their new traveling companion, a monk-like wizard by the name of Colleen, the mistress, or at least the headmaster, of what is known as the Index, a powerful magical university inside of Port Ivy. After slaughtering these Duragar and a couple of gnolls, which seem to have been a mercenary group required and burdened by the payment of these drow, we go ahead and pick up just as our party has seemingly slaughtered the rest of this companionment of gnolls, just to have been invited by a imp riding the shoulder of an animated suit of armor. Imp once again kind of stationed, one hand on the top of the helmet, the other one currently residing on the side, kind of stapling himself onto the armor as the two little paws are currently grappled like hawk's talons on the shoulder pauldron. The center portion of the animated armor is currently kind of glowing red hot and almost drooling bits of metal at this point after the heat metal spell cast upon it. The imp just currently looks at you with a disdainful and sour look. So, shall we keep her waiting, or are we finally going to be moving?
Zorn's gonna start.
May as well see the one who rather wanted to keep us watched. How is the bird, if I may ask? Yeah, you can see Valis kind of like his hands still like tingle with a bit of magic, but he does seem skeptical of the imp.
The imp just kind of looks at you and squints its eyes. There is very little on the bird that could not have been replaced. A trivial thing. Still mainly a portion of pride that you killed another person's animal, but yeah. Nonetheless. Shall we?
I guess
Very
Zorn's
well.
gonna start approaching the imp.
So, approaching the imp, the rest of you start walking your way forward. It takes you a few moments to get there. You walk through a bunch of twisting, just winding hallways. This seems to be a much larger temple than the one you guys were in before. as you're finally led down a set of stairs leading into a large antechamber. You see, kind of raised on a slight rectangular dais, you see a table with roughly about 8 chairs. You see, currently, not even sitting at the table is what looks to be a simple old drow, not a female, looks to be male. And you can tell by the way the hair is long overgrown and kind of frayed at the ends, even a salt and pepper look. This is definitely an old-looking drow. He looks at you. Ah. Right. You see him stand up for a moment, straighten himself out, and kind of pick up what looks to be a staff from the ground and kind of hammer it against the ground. Eventually, you hear a familiar, "Yes, yes, I'm coming. I had heard they were invited in." You see entering from a small room, what looks to be a hidden door almost, opens up in the wall. And here I'll kind of make a small reference of where you guys are on this table. Behemoth, I'm sorry you can't see it. Have you tried restarting Steam?
Can
I'm
someone share screen?
probably trying.
One moment, I'll see if I can.
Can you guys hear me
Behemoth,
okay?
I can see that you're trying to speak, but nothing's coming out.
Yeah, here, Behemoth.
The wonderful world of Twitch and Discord. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, like water to reduce. I don't know.
See if I can hear you on Twitch.
Well, everything but OBS is just locking up, so I'm gonna
So,
try
gray box
resetting my
represent-
network real
so
quick.
the gray box represents the table, essentially. You have the elderly drow, who is roughly about here, and he's currently
So 1 second. I might
standing
drop
there.
a ton
He
of
has the large
frames.
staff. It looks like some sort of almost a calcified wood. And the door opens about here. Stone as it's pushed along. And just as the
Okay,
matron
can you-
enters... Yes, now we have you.
Okay,
Now
thank
we have
God.
Okay, we can hear you.
You speak again.
Yeah,
Yes.
my network just decided to lock up completely. That's probably why I got thrown out of Steam as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah, I
Okay.
just looked over because I noticed that you weren't talking, and so I decided to just open up Steam. Open up Twitch, and just to make sure. And I saw that your mouth was moving. but
Thank
no-
you for that. It was
Yeah, that's
really weird.
that's why I always have Twitch open and the game.
Give
So I
me
can
just a
just make sure
second. Might
things
need
work.
to restart the chat because it's getting screwed up as well.
Old drow over here. Matron just came out of this door.
Yeah.
In the corner.
And the matron is followed by the large suit of armor. And you see the large kind of horned helm followed by the spiked pauldrons and the chest plate.
Can I move the people in here?
Yes, you can.
And I'll just take you over there.
All right, Steam is just not reacting.
She's not.
Yes.
All right. She's not working at the moment.
Hope this fixes it.
Okay, so we have 1, 2, and 3 characters here at the moment. Alright. So, currently standing just beside the table, you have the ancient drow, who's currently holding the staff. You have the matron entering on this far side, followed in by this large suit of armor. And just for a representation here, this is a smaller scale, so all these squares here represent 10 feet.
Okay.
Okay, so when it comes time for if you guys want to, I don't know, liven up the situation, I'll let you have a larger rendition of the map. But at the moment the matron walks in, you see, instead of the usual armor you had seen her in before, you see she's in a long, grayish-white dress, and it trails behind her for about 2-3 feet. You see a semblance of what looks to be some sort of, like, faint, almost scattering of some sort of reinforced part of the dress, roughly around the bosom and towards the belly area. But other than that, it's a very long and very beautiful dress. As she walks up to the table, you see she has, following her with the armor, looks to be a spider, roughly about the size of a small cat. And you see it's currently walking along the base side as well. And as this matron walks out and looks at all of you, she regards you with a soft wave of her hand. I could have killed you many multiple times, and yet I've invited you to dinner. Please, sit. We have much to discuss.
Zoran kind of looks to the rest of the group and kind of slowly and cautiously kind of moves to sit kind of farther away.
Does this discussion have anything to do with Lord Brokenridge?
She looks at you and, perhaps, sit, and we might discuss it.
Bro just nods a couple times and sits down.
Clyde moves to sit alongside Rowan.
I'll just expand this nonetheless. I'll just make sure. Alright, so... This is a long chamber.
Oh, that's the actual size scale.
I'm going to make an actual size scale here, so you guys don't have to worry about like what's going on here. So just one moment while I currently work this out. 2 rolls there and there. Currently have the table that is currently drawn here. Alright. Matron is currently here at this.
Oh, I was
Drop
gonna move
it.
all of them.
Drop it. Bad dog. Drop it.
Oh, jeez.
Me.
What was that?
Bad dog.
timing?
Drop it. Honks like a. Bad dog. Drop it. Honks like a car. Okay.
These are sick, twisted jokes.
Oh man, that was funny.
Move this a bit.
The half orc is actually going to go ahead. Coriel. She's going to actually go ahead and stand up by the door. She's not going to sit down. But you do see Colleen does kind of take an interest in the table and looks it over for a moment. Well, I don't see anything wrong with it.
Well, if you don't mind, what would I call you? And he kind of looks. He's actually still standing, but
Oh, you're still standing. Got it.
yeah, he's kind of like trying to figure out what to refer the drow matron.
Matron. Matron looks at you and almost ponders for a moment. There are not many names I would rather have you talk to me as.
I do suggest you give us something to call you, because we are very, very, very bad at giving names to people we don't know.
Very well. You may call me Mistress Asher.
Asher. I see.
Esshir. Asher.
Escher.
Hold on, can you spell that again?
So, Miss
Eshire. Escher.
Escher. Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
Miss Escher. To what pleasure do we have for you? Who? I'm assuming Volus remembers from the fight. And poor Ivy, is it the same person?
The face is definitely the same. Definitely the same demeanor. So yeah, it's probably the same matron.
So, to what pleasure do we have of being invited to your, well, I guess, lovely abode? At least before, only a few months ago, that there was a bit of a scuffle. Just out of curiosity.
She waves her hand in dismissal. Oh, there is nothing on that. The pleasure you have of being here, I could not care less. However, one thing I do care for is not that you are trying to befuddle or ruin any of my plans. It's the idea that you killed one of my pets.
His
And
gaze,
that is what grieves me the most.
his gaze kind of like looks over to the back of freaking Ryoka's head a moment. Because, Ryoka's saying that. Well,
Ryoka kind of looks off to the side like, yeah, I did it. Who cares?
to be fair, Miss Asher, the wilds are an untamed land.
She holds her hand up and stuff. It's Escher.
Escher.
If you're going to say it correctly.
Escher.
You asked for a name, I gave it to you.
Is Miss Escher. The wilds are untamed. It could be as the same as a hunter who shot down your bird, as would we. I just find it
Oh,
rather.
please. You and I both know. It wasn't some hunter to take care of my bird. And
Oh,
her eyes kind of flick over to Ryoka.
I'm fully aware, but at the same time, it is not like we knew instinctively that it was your bird.
I mean, we just saw something following us over and over and over again, and we don't like being looked upon. It's stalking a little bit creepy.
She kind of gives you an exasperated look, Rowan. She just looks at you.
Zorn is kind of just staring. It's an interesting creation, then, since, from what I could tell, it had magical properties to it.
She
Oh.
looks at you. By which creature do you refer?
From what I can tell, whenever I've seen that particular bird, it seemed to always have some sort of magical aura to it.
Most things
Unless-
from the dark carry magic.
So, I'm presuming that you were asking for some form of compensation for us.
If I were asking for compensation, your friend would be dead. I here have a proposal. To keep you out of my hair, and yourselves from mucking anything else up. Whatever inclines you to deal with whatever situation arises from my presence or any of my business, you would see yourselves off. I will make no moves to interrupt anything of which you find yourselves doing. A tentative non-aggression pact, if you will. You stop killing my pets, and I will take an idea as to not kill you. I seem to think that's reasonable.
Wallace kind of looks like takes side glance towards Colleen and
Colleen looks like she's fuming. She looks pissed as all hell. Like, she has a calm demeanor, but you can tell it's like someone just lit a fire under her ass. It's you got a ticking time bomb.
and his gaze then goes to Coria.
Very calm and cool demeanor. You can't really see much. All you just see is she is currently standing there, her hands folded over one another, almost hidden underneath the small cloak she wears of the usual kind of translucent white. But other than that, very calm demeanor. And the old drow speaks up at this point. Yes, and there has been talk that there has been most of your, well, engaging implements. And you can tell this old man's having a hard time speaking common. The issue that this power matron has is more of the issue of staying out of each other's way, I believe, as she has put it so clearly for you.
I'm aware of her intentions.
The matron speaks
Yes.
up and kind of flicks her hand over towards the elderly drow. I do not need you to repeat, thank you. See, the elderly drow just kind of looks over at her, and almost like a spurned puppy, kind of puts his head down and nods.
Now, my question, mate, Escher, is how do we know that you will keep to your word? For all we know, we do make this non-aggression pact, and then for some reason, some of the other, he kind of gazes to the drow pets per se, try to attack us first. What would then become of such
She
ill
puts her hand up, and your concerns are admirable. However, from my family, you will have no regard as to attacking you or interrupting anything of which you wish. The other families, I cannot promise anything. However, most of the other clans don't normally dwell too close to the surface. So, you have my word, that of which do not take lightly, thank you. But you have my word that none of my pets, nor any of my servants, or any of my brothers or sisters will take up arms against you, or any other quest you find yourself upon.
Who exactly is your servant?
You hear a clank as the almost metallic suit of armor just kind of brings its arm up and bangs it against its chest. See the elderly the elderly drow just kind of pulls his staff up and makes a notion. These are but two of them.
Is there many more here?
Here, no. There wasn't much required due to the association that those gnomes offer. You see, she almost says the name with disdain and kind of wipes her hand on a tablecloth.
So I suppose we saved you a little bit of money there. Paying
Oh,
them and all that.
they were already paid. I believe Maurice will deal with the fetching of their gold later. You see the imp nods off to the side. Yes. Your mother. I shall deal with that as you wish. It shall be collected. Good. Thank you, Maurice. As this has been talking, you start noticing the spider has actually been walking along the edges of the room and kind of watching all of you. By this
Side
point,
looks squeamish at like all the different spiders crawling around.
no, there's only one. There's only one.
Still,
At this point, you realize that this spider looks different. From the front, it looks like a normal hairless cat.
What the fuck?
As you look at it from the side, you see that there are 4 legs on each side, each of them the same kind of hairless paw that walks by. You see as it turns its head and looks at the table, the face looks like a normal cat's face until it opens its mouth and you see the mandibles spread out from the side. And as it blinks, you see as the 2 main eyes blink, and then 2 more, and then 2 more, as the small cat's face has 8 eyes in total. And you see as it closes all of them except the normal 2, and its mouth closes. It continues just pacing about the room.
Rowan
Zone is kind of just
shook.
staring at the matron, just kind of studying them.
Alright, you want to make an insight check?
No, he's more just memorizing their appearance.
Okay. Something that is rather prevalent that Volish, you would see missing is the large widow-like spider tattoo on the side of her face. You would notice that would be missing. But looking at the face, it's a very memorable face. Definitely a very strong, structured jaw. Very beautiful face. The skin is a lighter hue of dark purple that just seems to accent the almost auburn-like irises that she has. So, I believe we're all in accord here, if we can make this deal.
I would assume so.
Colleen clears her throat. I don't believe we're finished. You see, the matron looks at her like she's trying to put a face to a name. I'm sorry, I don't think I remember inviting you. Who are you? We had a rather interesting duel. Perhaps you remember it. Oh yes, I remember. Yes, I remember. Oh yes, I remember being bored after that. You see Colleen just kind of grips the hand and almost like puts a dent in the stone table. We have
But-
unfinished business. The matron just waves her hand. At a later time. The adults are speaking at the moment. I'll deal with you later. Watches Colleen's left hand is currently under the table, working on some sort of... You can almost tell it's some sort of magic. It's like she's preparing a spell. And the drow just looks back to the rest of you. So, I believe we're in a accord, if our deal is to be struck, yes.
Yep.
Zone just looks to the rest of the party, making sure that they're willing.
You look about and you see Coria out in the back. She seems to have no change to her facial structure. Standing there, listening.
He
And
can.
his raises a brow to like a brow, seeing this, like almost trying to figure out, like get some input from her.
Look back at her, and she looks at you. She shrugs. And the first kind of movement you've seen from her this entire time.
If everyone else wants to.
Anyone else have a say? He kind of looks like Rowan, Clyde, Nerim.
Rowan is just
Zordom.
very
If anyone has
unusually
any
quiet.
disagreements, speak up now.
Narum is currently sweating bullets because the only thing he's ever learned is when the grown-ups talk, keep quiet. He's just standing at attention.
And
Not saying
Colleen
a
is off
word.
to the side of the table. And she's, yes. One. And you see her snap her hand from underneath the table and point it over at the matron. The matron just has this kind of whimsical smile as you watch a small bolt of light releases from Colleen's fingers. The matron doesn't even do anything. You just watch as she moves her head ever so slightly, and this bead of light zings by her and just pink plucks into the backside of the wall. Close, but no dice, dear.
I can see you have the power to back it up.
Well, let's just say her actions are her own. I will not judge you for hers. As a child might act amongst adults who wish to speak, some people have to deal with tempers that they cannot control.
To be fair, Asher, when I saw your fight with Miss Colleen here, I always wanted to take a crack at, well, comparing our spells, but that might be a later date on, well, less than malice.
When you say Escher by itself, you just see her grimace at the face. And she points her finger. I have a title. Use it.
Wait a minute, her child's matron, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright then.
Drow are very finicky about their names and titles.
Well, this is Wallace's first time
Hey,
actually
you
interacting with
wouldn't
Drow.
know this, but you're starting to figure it out.
Well then, Matron Asher, I would, as I said, I wouldn't mind having a spar with you at least one of these days. Compare our magics. And we've yet to see how the realm
I
magic
mean
is.
no offense, but if you take some, I do not mind nor care. Sparring with you in a battle of wits or any sort of magical contest would be like a grand master of your game of chess going against an infant.
Well, then it's safe to say that I at least have some experience in both. You just see this smile that's on Wallace. Though, seeing that aside, though seeing that the rest of the group here is saying nothing of sorts, we'll uphold to at least our side of non-aggression. Though we will fend for ourselves if such words are ever broken at any point, be it by your orders or by accidental from your group. Whilst we may be, let, what would be the right word? Finicky with our trust, we usually uphold our ends of bargains.
In a smooth and intricate motion, you see as the matron just brings one hand up. Just, you have my word. If that is not enough for you, I do not know what would be.
Well then, I believe that is all then. If that is your, if all this business is done,
You look around and everybody seems to be placent. Except Colleen, she looks like she's just fuming. She's been stewing in a pot of this anger. It's getting riled. So, I believe if there's nothing else, I believe I invited you to a dinner. She spreads her hands out, and you watch as plates and such are distributed to you. You're not even sure where they came from. Even as you're just standing there, a plate of food appears in your hand. It's like, ooh, nice.
Hungry, hungry dragonborn.
The matron has the same thing appear in front of her, and she just looks at you, but she picks up a small glass of wine that previously wasn't there and sips it. Enjoy yourselves. And she stands up and turns back to the same kind of hidden door that the suit of armor has been constantly watching. And soon enough, you are once again left in a room with both figures gone, left with only the animated suit of armor, the imp, and the ancient drow.
Wolf kind of just glances to the ancient drow a moment. Do you have a name, Seven of the Matron?
Too many to recite on one hand.
Well, then the most convenient at the very least.
The matron's already given you her name. Why must I give you mine?
Oh, well, if we're not enemies, well, the least we can do is have
We
some
are not
fighting.
enemies, correct, but that does not make us friends.
I'm fully aware, but at least be good to acquaintance ourselves. Would it not?
He just looks at you. I do not care for any trifle of what you call me. Call me what you will. There, we are acquainted.
Very well.
Zoom's not really eating. He's kind of just sitting in his chair, kind of just staring. Not at anyone, but just kind of just having this stare going on.
Alright.
Mm.
So just staring down. Yes, Ron.
Is there any fruits around on the table?
There are a couple, actually. Most of them look weird from the fruits you're used to, but that's probably because they're from the underground.
Yeah, or he's just gonna like very slowly trying to be as discreet as possible. Just take a fruit, put it in his bag, wait like a good 30 seconds. Take another fruit, inspect it, put it in his bag.
Make me a sleight of hand check.
Got you.
Didn't even have to pay for the meal, still stealing stuff, everybody. A great thief. Everybody knows.
Damn, it's almost like someone just steals something from a free sample bin.
Yeah,
God.
You're the person who goes to a free sampling place and just keeps on taking stuff.
All right, that will be a 27.
As far as you are aware, nobody notices you stealing fruit. You even kind of reach over and start taking things off of Clyde's plate, And even Clyde doesn't even seem to notice.
Damn.
Poor
Just-
Clyde.
Okay,
Just
I'm
to
having
sell-
some
just
internet
to
issues,
sell it
so
even more.
I'm gonna stop streaming because it's actually causing my computer to have a shit.
Understood.
Just to sell the more, he's just gonna, start biting into a fruit.
Bitter? Very bitter. But the consistency is almost like that of biting into a very crisp apple. But it's exceptionally bitter. Not sour, but bitter.
He just keeps a poker face, takes a bite, grabs a fruit, puts it away, takes another bite, looks around suspiciously. Is there anything else that looks like it would hold for a while?
Make a perception check. Actually, no, you know what? Make me a wisdom check. Just a straight wisdom check.
My only weakness. 11.
11.
He's not very wise.
12 minus 1.
You look over. There are a couple of pieces of meat. Some vegetables. I mean, not
They're
much
all
here that
cooked
seemed
though, right?
Yeah, most of them are cooked.
Yeah, he's just gonna pass on those. What about bread? Is there any sort of bread?
Why are you stealing food, for fuck's sake?
Yes, there is bread.
He's gonna take the bread.
You guys watch as nonchalantly as Rowan's hand just slowly reaches over the table and starts grabbing pieces of bread and then putting them under the table.
If anyone stares, he's just gonna stare back, lightly shrug, and continue his action.
Clyde's gonna look at Rowan and just mouth what are you doing?
He's gonna mouth back, it's free food.
You have to leave pastries for the others.
This is what happens when you
Clyde,
manage children.
he just finishes putting away, puts his palms together, stares at Clyde, you've known me for what, a month now? Maybe 2?
Other people need to enjoy the pastries. It's not like they're the cinnamon honey buns or whatever the heck
They're not pastries.
your
they're
favorite
bread.
thing is.
It's bread, not pastries. If there was pastries here, none of you would have even realized.
Volas just pulled out cannoli from his satchel.
You watch as out of nowhere, Volus is just like, I raise you, and crunches into it.
What is it?
It's a cannoli. Essentially, if you want to go ahead and describe it, Jose, you can go ahead and do it.
All you just see is round pastry almost with a chocolate coating. And he's just looking at Rowan specifically and just bites it as Clive makes mention of the pastries.
Could I take one of the pieces of bread,
Yes.
toss it towards Valis, and if he tries to react to catch it, try to snatch away the cannoli from his hands?
I'm all the way over here.
That will not stop me.
Are you gonna dive over the
try?
table?
Can
I
someone?
Okay.
try and
I need someone to share screen.
all
Please. I need
right,
someone to share screen.
all right, as we have gone from a serious position to back to our Looney Tune escapades, we'll go ahead and get back into this. So, Rowan, you are currently about 5, 10, 15, 20 feet away from Volus. So you could try and mage hand it out of him.
I don't have mage hand.
Alright. Then
Can
essentially
I
what you would have to do is do a dead sprint over and just swipe it from his hands and run back.
I will do exactly that.
Seeing as I'm sitting right next to Rowan, can I stop him in any way, shape, or form. Like, just put my
Okay.
elbow out like
Rowan?
one of
You-
those
okay,
canes
okay.
that like
Once, hey,
pull
both of you,
people off
both of you.
Really quick,
screen
I would
and
like
just like
I would
hold
like
him back.
I would like Clyde to really think for a second that you're trying to get between Rowan and a pastry.
Okay, alright, here's what I'll have you guys do. This will be a contested dexterity check. Clyde, make a
Mhm.
dexterity check. Rowan, make me a dex save.
Dex save.
I just love it. Volus just takes out a fucking pastry, and I'm just seeing Clyde looking at him, or not Clyde, Rowan looking at him, just like, you son of a bitch.
You know what I imagine?
Goddamn.
Like, both Clyde and Rowan see the pastry, and you just hear, Rowan, don't. Rowan, yes.
Rowan's eyes just like fucking dilate.
I got a 15.
I got a 25. 19 plus 6.
15.
Yeah, no, Clyde
So
failed.
Clyde, you try and move yourself and try and stop him, but the moment you get in front of him, you just watch as Rowan just ducks underneath your arms and starts running. Volus, like a speeding bullet, you suddenly watch as Rowan appears before you. Rowan, make me a sleight of hand check, and
Seeing like Rowan, like,
Volus,
I'm
make me a sleight of hand check.
unneeded. I'm casting whole person.
Okay,
So that's an 18
So-
for my sleight of hand check.
instead of that, I need you to make me hold person is a
Wisdom.
wisdom save. Okay, make
God
me a
damn
wisdom
it!
save.
That's 14. 15 minus 1.
What is your DC?
My
DC. Let me just check.
Please tell me it's
My
15.
16.
16. So, Rowan, as you run up and just as you're about to reach for this cannoli, your hand freezes up and your entire body just locks up.
Out of all things that we're using spells on, it's over food.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Willis is just seeing Rowan run up and trying to grab him. Of course, he's gonna stop him. What do you think you're doing, Rowan? He says he just like bites the other half of the cannoli, just eating it.
Do I need to get the manacles out?
You hear an exasperated sigh from the elderly drow.
Now, Rowan, stop being childish. You can get your whatever pastries when we're back in town. For now, please be a least bit more professional. And he kind of just stared at Rowan for a solid like 10 seconds before dropping the spell. Already
Rowan
eating
is
the
just gonna
cannoli.
stare at him, and the moment the spell drops, go for the pastry.
He ate it already.
It doesn't
Damn
mean
it.
he's gonna. Well, he's still mid motion of trying to grab it, so he's still gonna try and grab it from where it once was. He's still following through and carrying on with the motion.
Okay.
So, as he's reaching for it, it's already out of your hands because you've already eaten. So, as this happens, he's pretty much barreling towards you, and you just have to sidestep out of the way as he kind of plows himself into the table. He's kind of, oh, fuck.
Told you.
You won't get me that easily next time. I will
Oh,
get that
Zorn
pastry.
just slides his plate over to Rowan.
Is there any pastries on it?
No.
Zorn hasn't touched his plate.
But is there
He's
any
just been
pastries on it?
thinking. He's just been in thought.
Well then, I guess with dinner aside, I think that is everything we need to discuss about.
You see Colleen is currently just sitting there fuming. And Coriel in the back. As far as we're aware, no. I believe there is nothing else we need to.
I suppose it might be best for us to take our leave now,
Mhm.
so we don't. All of us they are welcome from the matron.
Do you mind if I
Are you
take one
going
of the
to,
fakes with me? He's
Kaleem,
just
are you
gonna
going
ask it.
to remain calm as we're leaving?
She shoots you a death stare.
Colleen, let us think rationally. This is definitely not the time or place for such.
She whips her hand over to you, and I need you to make me a wisdom save.
Which one of us?
Wisdom, gotcha.
Flawless.
Okay.
Critical 22. That's
22.
just.
As you're speaking, your voice goes silent. And Colleen's just staring at you, and her hand is currently in a very familiar motion. The spell she casted on you is silent.
You can see Velas just roll his eyes a moment. Though he just kind of keeps his staring contest. You can't really say anything, so it's just a literal staring contest.
She looks back over towards Zorm. Calm is a manner of speaking. I can remain calm in any situation. Though that bitch doesn't understand. Here's what we're due for a rematch. I will not take it lightly that she laughs at it. Some sort of puppy. You hear a soft kind of hissing from the spider cat. And you can tell whatever it was, it's not taken lightly to what Colleen has said.
I think we should leave. And he looks over at not Kaleem, but the I'm drawing a
The half
blank.
orc.
Yeah, I was drawing a blank.
At Corio.
Coriel, yeah.
But she looks like she's ready to go. She is not.
Zorn stands up, like gesturing for everyone else to kind of do the same.
Rowan would stand up with this much heavier bag.
Velas just silently just follows along to leave.
It's better to go than to overstay her welcome. It's clear that they have the power to kind of to do what is necessary to deal with us.
All right.
By the
So
way,
you guys.
Grip, I just got a question. How long does silence last for?
The spell's already been dispelled.
Oh, okay.
Is the imp thing still here?
Yes. It's just been waiting.
Is it following us out?
Make a perception check.
We're taking the spider. No, I'm kidding.
Taking the spider. That is a. Hold on, I need to see what my modifier is. Perception. That's 18.
The imp is following you. Currently kind of fluttering through the air. Just the small wings on its back is currently carrying it through the air. It doesn't look like it's going at a very fast pace. It doesn't really seem to be following you from what you can tell. But currently, at the moment, It looks like it's following you.
He's
Well, it's
gonna
just doesn't say much. It just tries to exit to the what they presumed was the entrance where all the pale dwarves were.
Yeah.
You guys
Well-
are finding yourselves back. You walk past all the corpses of the gnolls. You walk by them and you start watching as the imp actually starts going through the pockets of the gnolls. You see as he's starting to pull out what looks to be a few coins here and there. He starts pulling out their coin pouches. Seems he's doing what the matron asked him to. You guys finally walk yourselves out. Yeah.
I have a
I was
question.
gonna. Oh.
I do remember there being 5 gnolls in total, right? Like the 2 in the hallway and then the 3 back with the dwarfs.
No, there's two at the.
No, there were
door.
2 hallways. There's 2 hallways here. You were led down this hallway here.
There was like one where we just killed them.
Yeah. You guys came in. You came in this way. That's the way you were led down by the imp. As you came back this way,
Yes.
you have currently the imp going over all the gnolls and is currently pocketing through them, just taking out the coin pouches.
Okay.
You don't know what's in here. You haven't been there and you haven't been down the stairs.
Okay. As the imp is like going through the pockets of those 2 gnolls, Rowan would just like speed up a step, head over to the other gnolls that were in the like first chamber, and take their gold if possible.
So that means Ron is right over here. What I wanted to ask was, what was on the pale dwarves, or at least their armor looking? Because I was curious of what the material was.
There's
The
a gnoll missing
material?
there.
Yeah.
Make me an intelligence check.
21.
And what materials exactly are you looking at? Just
Mainly either the weapons or armors. Just see if it was
the
just standard iron. If it was
the gnolls are just wearing standard iron. It's padded iron with bits of chainmail. It's really not much.
in the pale dwarves.
They're not wearing anything. They're pretty much stripped down to like some pantaloons. And they have heavy shackles on their arms. They're were currently going over and creating what looked to have been a barricade or so that you guys destroyed. The idea of
Well, then let us get going. And Velas goes to go get his cart.
anything else the rest of you want to do as Volus leaves.
Yes, like
No,
pocketing the
I'm gonna
gold from the gnolls
follow Wallace.
Hey,
before the imp catches up.
Zoram, can you actually just check it around here? I know it's my little paranoia to ask about various herds, but we are in a new part of land, and maybe there's something that grows out of these dwed little ruins.
You're asking me to look for ingredients or something?
Yeah, just see if you can spot anything while I get the horses that I need to go.
Okay,
It's just a
guess
little
I just gotta
thing
do
to.
that.
I guess Naren will go outside and help Valis get the cart ready.
Alright. So, Volus, you leave. Boreal's behind you. Rowan, you're still in, I believe. Clyde leaves with you. Nira, you head out. Colleen tentatively head out with Ryok will follow. Zoram, what are you doing?
He's going to look for alchemical ingredients that could be growing in here.
make a survival check.
You find one mushroom. The imp's like, "That's my high mushroom." I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So that is a 22, natural 20 plus 2.
22. There's not much around here. You do find more kingsweed, or king's root, which is a weed, as everybody knows.
Mhm.
And you also find what seems to be more sickle grass. It's a medical thing, mostly used to treat kind of like, it's almost like Neosporin. It's like
Yeah.
it's a mild numbing agent.
Okay. He's gonna take. He's just gonna take what he can find.
You're able to grab roughly about maybe a pound of king's root. It's very common around here, and you're able to get roughly about a half pound of your sickle grass.
Just need to add that into my inventory. So a pound of king's root, you said?
Yes. Right. And as you guys are actually leaving and preparing the cart, as you're walking on the grass, you suddenly start hearing as if you're walking on like puddles and such. And you look down and you start seeing what was once just grass and dirt is now slowly filling with water. And it's still rising. Like over the next few minutes, it's starting to get pretty much over the tops of the rims of your boots.
We need to go now.
Is there a cause? Like, is there like a identifiable source of this water?
Make me a perception check.
Make a perception check. You look up. It's raining.
Well, I don't think it would rain like fill up the canyon that fast.
You're not in a canyon. You're in a small bowl of a valley.
Yeah, still. Making perception. What is my bonus on that? It's 5, so that is a 23.
23. Looking about, nothing seems to be in your field of view until you look up. And then you see a very familiar cloud formation that's starting to part very slowly. Whatever happened at the previous temple seems to be happening here.
Okay. So it kind of looks like someone used a control weather spell, possibly.
Not control weather.
Okay.
Can Volos try to see if he could discern the magic with his arcana?
You guys are familiar with this. You guys went to the previous temple when the bone was broken over the altar. You remember that one caused.
Zorn is just gonna mount onto his horse and kind of wait for everyone else to kind of get ready to move.
We should head out now. If I remember last time, that monster appeared last time this happened. But now we at least trying to put two and two together in Wonder Lord Brokenridge. Kind of looks like a lead. A moment. Guess this confirms some things that. Well, honestly, I wish I did not want to confirm.
While Zorm's waiting, he's gonna kind of like pull out like a chip of the bone that he's carrying and kind of think like, is this thing's doing? Like he's mentally trying to think on all this because like the bone was there and just doing association.
Alright.
when they move
So you
outside.
guys pack up as quickly as you can. It's by the time you are starting to move, you're pretty much pulling the cart through what's maybe about 9-10 inches of water.
Great.
Yes,
Does that work out though with the nose?
I don't follow.
Okay, as I said earlier, as we're going through the hallway and the imp was stopping to take the bags from the two dead gnolls that we killed in the hallway,
Hmm.
Rowan wants to try to discreetly as possible run in front of the group and at least try to get the gold from the bigger gnoll that he had to strike twice in order to get down.
Okay, go ahead and make a sleight of hand check.
Gotcha. That is a 16 plus 9, so 25.
You go over and pretty much quickly just searching through, you move some of the pieces of armor, and you actually find a large sack. And you just gotta pull the rope taut from it, and it snaps off, and you just dash away with it.
I am content with this.
You have a gold pouch full of about 125 gold pieces. And that's what you managed to snag.
Hold on, adding it.
Well, shit.
120, you said?
Yep.
Alright, nice.
All right. So, as you guys start pretty much having to push this cart out of this water that just starts rising and rising. Eventually, it does stop, roughly about maybe a foot of water. It's getting hard to trudge through. Well, horses have less trouble, but since you guys are currently riding them, they definitely have an issue. But you do get out of the valley eventually. Mhm. Pull up onto the side, and as you just get over the ridgeline of this hillside, you look over and you see the valley is now slowly pooling with water, but not enough to block or clog the entrance to the hill in the center of it. You still see the predominant crack through the center of it, which you guys had previously entered. And roughly about maybe 10-15 minutes later, you see the familiar figures walk out. A very large, looks like black, grayish gunmetal figure walk out. You possibly think that's the armor. And you see a palish woman walk out with them. And you suddenly see them disappear.
In front of us, or what? While we're
No, as you look behind you. But as you guys actually get yourselves out, you look back and the valley is filled with about a foot of water. The water looks translucent blue, almost like water from the Caribbean. And it's still beautiful. And as you look up, you see a ring of clouds pretty much circling the edge of this valley. And you see in the center of it looks to be almost like an aurora borealis, but just a sheer cyan blue filling through the sky.
What kind of fuckery is that? Magic? The fuck?
if I'm taking a
Not
look at that, I'd say, and Vaz just kind of looks at it. I'd say that's the same magic from the last temple, but I feel like it's more, I believe, a summoning in nature. at least to my guess.
I don't like
I-
the idea that this has happened in 2 places.
If that's the case, Zorim, I can only presume that the reason why the Drow Matron doesn't want us to interfere, and hear me out on my theory, they might be trying to summon that Leviathan to the material plane. And with such, you just see Vela's just kind of processing. They might be going for other temples. So we probably need to figure it out, at least from Lord Brokenridge, if there are any other of these temples. This non-aggression might be only a temporary case. I just
I-
sense in
Most
the
are.
long run.
Okay, I have a question. How much are we getting paid by Lord Brokenridge to take on, probably her entire army or something like that?
I'm
Probably
more
a life.
concerned over a Leviathan than an army.
I'm more concerned about the money we're being paid.
And I rather concern myself than life than money at the moment. Rowan.
Well, yeah, if it comes to life, I can just run away at any point.
Your cowardness does
Money,
not cease to amaze me.
yeah, money doesn't exactly come running to me.
But think of it like this: if if this is a portal to the plains of water, there is nowhere that you can hide your money, as the lands will slowly fill up. There's
I
be
can
no
keep
use for
running.
it. Running in water. There's only
I just,
you're only
run.
so tall. I can say that much.
I move faster than the water, that's it. With enough money, I can pay for transport that is faster than the water. What's your
And there's
argument
only
now?
a limit, and then delaying the inevitable.
Hmm.
Look, I'm not going to go into this fight with you, but I'll just tell you this much: when it comes to something greater than money, running away will only delay the inevitable, as is how I at least presume the people before us more than likely had to deal with this type of shit.
Alright, well, what's
So
your
But
plan
now,
for dealing with the inevitable, Mr. Know-It-All?
I'm curious actually. Does this look does this look like it could potentially be the exact same thing that is going on here that happened at the previous temple?
Yes, it does look like this.
Is Ormston? How far away are we from it?
The temple you just left, or the other temple?
Like the from what I'm understanding is the water's pretty high now, right?
Maybe about 1.5 feet. Yeah. I mean, it looks about the same depth as the water from the other temple.
Okay, so it looks still really deep.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so seeing this, his arm is kind of like he's he's gonna start picking up speed with his horse, kind of like now kind of doing a little bit more of a gallop, like he wants to get back to the city faster.
All right. So, once again, trailing your way out, you pass by the group of dead hobgoblins. See their armor is still there. The corpses starting to be bloated from the heat and from the natural gases in the body.
makes me want to test something with those, but I don't think it's worth it.
You continue moving on. Moving by past the bodies, and travel for the rest of the day. Colleen is silent, and Coriel looks to be just almost as if mentally writing something down. You see, she has her eyes somewhat closed as she's just following along with the jostling of the horse. See, Ryoka is actually still chewing on food. You're not sure how, but she manages to keep onto the plate that you had. She's still eating.
I'm waiting for that thing to disappear on her.
Somehow it hasn't.
Would be funny if they just collectively forgot about that one specific plate.
Or the plate just never disappears. Ryoko somehow breaks the magic on it.
Yeah, right.
But eventually, as the day ends, you guys make camp. Who would like to take first watch?
I will.
Alright. I heard a secondary voice. Who said that?
I was gonna say I could take second.
Both of you, go ahead and do it. You can either make me independent rolls, or you can go ahead and make it one roll at advantage.
Perception. 23.
I got a 18.
Alright. It's quiet. Very quiet. Almost unnaturally so.
Zoram, once first shift ends, I'll take second shift. Does that sound fine? I didn't screw up with names, did I? Again?
No, you just see as Zoram is currently wandering off. He doesn't seem to be mentally there at the moment.
No, it's kind of like he's distracted.
Zoram, what? Speak your mind. You don't seem all too. What's the word? In the head. And I would know.
Just have a lot to think about.
Is it about the Leviathan?
It is a little bit, yes.
I could probably think of what you're going through, at least in thoughts of it. It's scary for even the most hardened of people.
It's not that.
No. Well, we got time before the sun rises. I was going to go practice my magic, but I can lend an ear if you need to vent.
When I was casting magic on it, do you ever have it that you have familiarity with something, but you don't know why you have familiarity to it?
To be fair, I've at least experienced something like that, so to say. That you're used to something, at least feeling such, but you do not recall anything at least close to what is done. So in a way, I know how that feeling is. Are you saying that you think you might have some relation with this Leviathan?
I don't know. I don't really have any memory of it. In fact, I don't really have any memory of my younger life, really. So
Well, it is tempting to see if I could delve into your mind and such, but I don't think that's even possible, to be fair. At least
It's fine.
currently. But all I can really say is it kind of just looks off to the side a moment. We really just have to be careful from here on out. I know that non-aggression that we did was well, but it might be only a very, very temporary thing.
Most
'Cause,
non-aggression pacts are temporary.
oh, I'm fully aware of that. To
It's
be
just
fair,
mainly. It's just really hard right now to focus, just due to the fact of
I don't mean to
just.
interrupt. And you both kind of look over to the side and you see Coriel and the half orc currently standing behind you.
Mr. Coriel, sorry
Couldn't
if we
help
were.
but listening to your conversation.
I'm sorry if we woke you.
Yes,
Don't
it
be.
was.
Though you have piqued my curiosity. Might I ask what this Leviathan is that you speak of? I've heard tales, but
uh,
nothing rock solid.
From
With that, Zorn's going to pull out the shards of the Leviathan bone that he has.
y- I when I try to what's the word? Imbue some magic into it. I vaguely had a minor conversation with it that, well, to be frank, I think most of the other party members say that I'm insane for at least believing such. But it seems that thing is, well, I guess it'd be more akin to these world's deities, but in a different material plane, by my guess. It is powerful, dangerous, and from what I can only guess, those Drow, they're trying to bring one into this realm. It's why I've been rather
Well,
calm.
as far as I was aware, the Leviathans, as you've been saying, were wiped out the last time the gods made war.
Well, if anything, kind of just moves to tap one of the bones. There is still one more left. It's either that or they're trying to revive one from the dead. In either case, it seems the gods have missed one, or mortals are just trying to bring them back. I don't think it's good either way, nevertheless.
Well, whatever it is, perhaps if we manage to find something to stop whatever it is that summons forth those pools around the temple, perhaps we might be able to stop it.
I do remember one thing. There's some altar at a previous temple. That might be the key to such a thing.
We did not find an altar where we feast from the rooms we were shown.
Then again, we weren't checking a lot, weren't we? It
It's
wasn't
true.
like it wasn't like we had gained a grand tour of the place. And judging by the drow, or at least that matron, there is a lot that is usually swept under the rug, as they say. So no doubt they were hiding this altar of sorts, probably in another room.
She nods. Well,
I can only.
perhaps, perhaps she hides it from us because she's afraid we can stop her. Hmm.
I think that's why she would have chosen non-aggression then, too. You
Food
know.
for thought. She
I
turns
can-
around, heads back over to her bedroom.
And
Excuse
then-
me, before you go.
She stops. Kind of turns around. Yes.
I need some help in 2 areas.
You see her eyebrow kind of flick up. I might be a mistress of the Temple of Soon, however, I'm not one of those.
No, I'm not referring to that. I am needing assistance in information, in knowing where I can find such.
So
Hmm.
you're looking for an
Information.
informant.
I would like to look into the history of where you learned about Leviathans and their stories. And also dealing with missing memories and familiarity with items.
The first, I wish I could help you, but. Well, let's just say that not many individuals know just where, well, our information comes from. And we like to keep it that way.
It's understandable.
On the latter part, you see she kind of makes a small notion to Colleen. She might know a thing or two. The Index is very powerful practitioners. Colleen might have a temper, but she is one of the most powerful magic users this side of the world. And that even includes the sovereigns to the south.
That must explain her temper towards the battle with the matron.
She would not. But
Have a
if
good-
there's anything else,
I believe that is all. Have a good rest.
Thank you.
she nods and walks away.
Yes.
Fullis, make a
Yeah.
perception check.
Sure thing. Perception 18.
As she's like turning to walk away from you guys, you do notice her hands kind of, or her eyes look down towards your hands, and she just kind of looks for something and then walks away.
He just grips his hand, just like bit of nervousness that boomed on it. I swear that gaze always gets me.
Is there something wrong?
I don't know why, but remember the undead sorcerer?
Yes.
I just have this gut feeling that it will not be the last time we see them. You know?
I really don't want to think about that because I'm.
We got a sorcerer on one hand and a dark wench that's essentially trying to bring back a dead being that was killed by gods on the other.
I'd much rather fight the sorcerer. I'm going to be honest here.
Well, I guess that only means we must be get ready. I'm going to go practice some magic,
Okay.
at least for the rest of the night, and probably
keep
just take a nap on the carts.
I'll keep watch.
Thank you. And Willis just goes off somewhere to study at best.
All right. Make me a charisma check. 'Cause it hasn't been too long. It's maybe about 11:30, 11:40.
Charisma.
Straight charisma.
19.
19.
16 plus 3.
Go over and watch the moon. And as it eventually gets overhead, you open the book once again. And you start watching as the pages start slowly scrawling out in this long language of runes. It's changed once again. The runes aren't the same the last time you'd seen it. As you shift through, you see the pictures you were once familiar with change or different. You look over and instead of finding more how-to, it's more of what has been done. You see pictures of humans, of what you can only assume, spliced apart. You see pictures of what essences and auras their soul, or even what undead nature can comprise of what organs have been pulled out. As you shift further into the book, you do not find the skull that you previously saw. You see a simple runic circle. In the center of it, what looks to be some sort of a raised, almost slab. The picture is well drawn. It's as if someone had drawn the Sistine Chapel in a book. The runes are intricate and flowing. You see as they're all interlocked along this slab. And upon the slab there looks to be a simple skeleton, adorned in what looks to be bits of jewelry, essences of metal, and other pieces of that you'd only guess are glass or some sort of material of rock.
Does it? Here's my question. Does it have any sort of resemblance to the sorcerer?
Make me a wisdom check.
$17.
19. No correlations you can see. It does look undead. And eventually, as you continue flipping through the pages, it stops running into runes, and you just simply find a small passage. What languages do you know?
I know Common, Draconic, Elvish, Infernal, Primordial, and I have Comprehend languages if I do not know it.
You do not know this language.
And I shall try to use Comprehend languages on myself.
You use it, but it takes a lot longer than you're usually used to translate this language. It says, humanity is weak. Flesh is just there only to be a burden upon the soul. Why not release it? Give it greater purpose and freedom within the realms of possibilities. I too shall strive to this, unburden myself from flesh. I shall give unto him and that of life, of which is a thirst of the fountain of knowledge, power. Humanity will once again show the gods just why they were created, to usurp the power that they used and granted them.
He kind of takes a moment to pause and have a think. I preferably like my flesh. He just kind of says as a little self joke. Though he does take a glance to the second book. If there's no more pages in the first one, he tried to see about the secondary book, the book where he somehow got the spell from earlier, or the Eldritch Blast.
You look at it, and as you ready it in your hand, seems more focused. One moment. Alright, but it seems more focused, more refined. And as you kind of point it out, you see, as you ready it in your hand, you see a soft sparkle of black light that just appears on the edge of your finger. Seems it's become more powerful. I'm not sure.
Hmm. He's going to, and he's point his hand off, probably in the distance. Is there any like trees or anything?
Yeah, there are a couple of sparse trees around, yeah.
I guess he just takes a at least look at one of the sparse trees in the distance and moves his hand to it to try to cast this. I'm assuming is a more powerful Eldritch Blast.
You point your finger out, and as it releases from your hand, you watch as it sails out. And as it impacts against the tree, you watch as a portion of it is blown off into a blackened ichor. And you see as the portion around it that is left from the exposed bits, you watch as it. You're not even sure what it looks like, but you see as it almost seems to crack and become calcified.
Oh, there's just like a fair bit of
As
surprise.
this one second, as this happens, Nero, you get a sharp burning sensation as you're sleeping. Just suddenly it feels like your hand is on fire.
Oh, great.
You take 2 points of necrotic damage.
Okay.
And you roll over, and you don't know why, but you immediately look over towards where Bullis is. You don't see him, but you just know he's there. And as you kind of squint your eyes, you start realizing you can see in the dark. You haven't been able to do that before. You now have dark vision up to 60 feet.
Oh boy. Yeah, Aaron's just gonna turn around and go back to sleep. A lot more concerned than before.
It's just like, oh shit, I can see the dark. Okay,
I
good
can
night.
see in the dark. This is different. You know what?
I
I
just-
just need to sleep
I-
this off.
I
I need
just
to sleep
imagine-
this off.
This is
I
just a
just
bad dream.
imagine
This is
the
just a
scene,
bad
like-
dream. This is just a bad
Yeah,
dream.
I just see Niram, he sits up, he looks around, he's like looking around, looks like the coast is clear, lies back down, closes his eyes. The eyes just like pop over like, how the fuck did I see that? Internal dread
Anyways,
settles.
he won. I guess the last thing Velosa does is just see if he can. Well, assuming that he's only been able to do it once a day, see if he could do it either with this power or the lesser version of the Eldritch Blast. But he still seemed surprised enough to at least go approach the tree afterwards. At least investigate the ichor.
You walk over to the tree and you see, if you've ever played Bloodborne or something like that, it looks like this tree has become blackened rock where it was impacted. You see as bits of it are still dripping the ichor, and it seems to pulse and ooze in some places. It's as if it's changed. The tree itself, it's almost its natural being, has been changed in the one area it's been impacted.
This is chaotic to say the least. And you just see that look of mix of concerned, but at the same time just curiosity just above that concern.
Zoram, as this is going on through the night, you watch as a small beam of black energy just zips across the plane. And then you suddenly hear "Nyeh!" as you look over and see Niram is currently clutching his hand. Looks over almost immediately in the direction of where Vullis was. And then just rolls back over to sleep.
It's a little weird. Did anyone say that they were taking second watch?
Well, Wallace did.
You know, Vullis said he'd take second watch.
I guess when he finishes up first watch, he's gonna go over to Wallace to let him know it's his turn to start watching.
You walk your way through the grass and you start kind of like poking Vullis in the side.
The one he turns around is like, yes, dog?
I'm just letting you know that I've finished up the first watch, and I don't know if I will be able to do my second. I don't know if I'll be able to hold second.
Don't worry, I'll handle second watch. I just wanted to at least confirm some things. You go ahead and rest up. I'll start the second watch.
All right. Have a good night.
You too. Oh, and Zoram,
Huh?
keep those
Zor-
dragon bones. Keep those Leviathan bones safe. I have an odd feeling that this matron might come after them someday.
Trust me, I'm gonna drag them. I'm gonna guard them with Dragon's Fury.
And that, folks, is what we call foreshadowing.
Dragon
Oh my
Fury.
goodness.
Dragon Fury.
I'm sorry, I can't believe I made that pun.
You made a pun and you said
I
foreshadowing.
hate that I made that pun.
All right.
I guess Volus
For the
takes
second
it.
watch, go ahead and make me a perception check at disadvantage.
Okay.
And make me a con check.
Okay, that is definitely needs. So I got 15 to 20. The other one I got was a 24, so I need a con,
Yep,
you said?
con check, constitution check.
Oh, Constitution. Oh shit. No disadvantages or with disadvantage?
Nope, just simple constitution check.
16.
16. You just managed to stave off exhausting yourself. You're still tired as all hell, but you just managed to stave off exhausting yourself.
He kind of takes a moment, at least whilst in his watch, to kind of look at the party. He still remembers that feeling of aura from at least back when they were in the Port Ivy. He wonders if recently doing those spells kind of reiterated that odd sight.
You're not sure, but as you actually find yourself almost drifting off to sleep every once in a while. And you start seeing things. Look to be like humans in long, billowing black cloaks. Just seem to be shuffling across the plains, wandering. And you blink and they're gone.
You could see, like, well, at first he was sitting, but he's standing up. He has that sense of paranoia. He thought he saw something, and then it disappeared. But nevertheless, he's gonna have that sense of I'm preparing something just in case. At least that's how he acts. throughout the night if nothing else happens, since it's way past trying to use the books.
Alright. As this is happening near him, I need you to make me a wisdom check. Just straight wisdom.
All right.
Oh god, foreshadowing Niram and
That's a 9.
Bolas.
9. As morning is coming, Niram is one of the last and latest to wake up. Reason being for that, Niram. As sleep takes you once again, after this burning sensation and pain in your hand and finding out you can see in the dark, you find yourself asleep, and yet when you wake up, you don't find yourself awake. You just sit up and you're in darkness. You look down, you're sitting on some sort of invisible platform. You are surrounded in what seems to be an endless shade. You see off in the distance as you continue looking around, you finally just lock eyes with what looks to be a simple table with 2 chairs and a candle. And you just stare at it.
That's weird. Where's the cart? He just kind of looks around, trying to see anything familiar.
Your voice echoes around. You see nothing familiar. It's all just black.
Just kind of shrugs and approaches the table, given that it's the only thing in sight.
You go over, and just as you walk up to it, you actually see a mirror image of yourself. You see as it's currently doing everything you're doing. As you walk up to the table, it walks up to the table.
Naram's startled by this. Looks at his supposed reflection and
Brother.
proceeds. Oh, hey, what are you doing here?
It says the exact same thing. As you're speaking to it, it speaks to you in the exact same way. The emotions are exactly the same. Every time you move, it moves.
I guess Naram will sit down at the table, and so will the reflection.
You pull out the chair, it pulls out the chair. You sit down, it sits down. You scoot yourself in, you scoot yourself in.
And I guess he's gonna sit there at the table, looking at the reflection, doing nothing. Does anything change?
Actually, it does. You start seeing as the mirror actually doesn't follow your movements anymore. As you're just sitting there, you see as it seems to be trying to figure out what's in front of it. You see as it's like looking at things on the table, things you don't see in front of you. And you see as it seems to pick something up. You're not sure what it holds in its hands. But as you look down, you start seeing you have silverware, cutlery, and a dagger in front of you. And just as you finally look up, you start seeing it's holding up what looks to be a dagger. It's just currently holding it. And soon enough, you actually find yourself holding this dagger.
Oh, so now Naram's following the
Now you're the
reflections.
mirror.
Yeah.
Now you're the mirror.
You are the one who mirrors.
He just thinks to himself, maybe this is a bit pointy. I should probably put it down. And he tries to release the dagger.
You try and put it down, but your thoughts are your own, your movements are not.
Okay.
You see as a voice just comes into your ear. Learn to master your pain. Perhaps your fear too. And he sees the mirror just kind of like takes the dagger and like pokes it into his hand, and you do the exact same thing. Make me a con save.
Okay. Con save it
Damn.
is. That
Damn,
is,
I'm
oh
just
boy. That is an 18 plus 6 for a total of 24.
You press it into your hand, and it twists slightly. You don't feel it. You start pushing it further in, and pretty soon the knife is digging through the backside of your hand, and you don't feel it. You just pull it out. You see the wound itself starts healing rapidly. The flesh comes back together.
Huh.
You're not sure what this means, but you do hear the voice once again. Well, you've mastered one of them. Perhaps in time the other. And this would just be when you kind of you wake up on your bedroll and you see you're kind of surrounded by everybody who's kind of looking down at you curiously, just as you just kind of like look up at everybody.
Is there any mark left of what happened in the supposed dream? Just
No.
okay. And Nerem just sits up. I guess he's drenched in sweat from that nightmare. And
No, he's not.
oh, not? Huh.
Nope.
Interesting. He just looks around at everyone. Did I miss something? And since no one responds, he just
awkward silence.
you
Yeah.
just hear a thump in the cart. Wells just went to sleep.
there. Like after that, like after a bit of awkward silence, he just begins packing up his shit and starts taking the reins of the
Yeah.
cart.
I guess Zorn's gonna get ready to go.
I guess Wells is gonna take his 4-hour trance.
As you all gather back together and start mounting yourselves back to your cart, to your horses, and start ranging off, we go ahead and end today's session there. As you guys have once again met with a interesting fellowship of characters. Once again running into a drow who doesn't seem all too keen on continuously running into you.
So it seems now Nerim can see in the dark. Volos has now essentially a hand cannon in his fingertips. And now both of them have suffered PTSD of seeing weird ass shit in their dreams.
Hey, you
Or
don't
in their
know that yet, but apparently Nerem also has freaking regeneration power. So he's just Deadpool
That
without the humor?
well, we would have to test that.
We'll
we
see
have to
next
test
encounter, I guess. But at least in the weird dreamscape,
Deadpool with
he
the comedy.
Deadpool, but he's not funny. So just regular Deadpool.
I mean, Nirim can be pretty funny.
Nerim could think of some jokes.
Yeah,
Let's just
some.
hope they don't drag on.
I hate that. I hate that. I hate that. I hate
Goodbye,
that.
everybody. Good thing we're ending it here.
Can he go into the mute jail for that?
Not just yet.
I've been sent to the mute jail for less.
Yes, you have, because you're you.
Oh, okay.
Freaking dragon.
Come on, you got it. That was a fun joke.
So, as we go ahead and end tonight's session, / today's session, we'll go ahead and say to those of you in our Twitch chat, hello. How are you? A pleasure to always have you, of course. I will dare say that I hope you enjoyed our antics of our usual intrepid adventuring party of idiots, boobs, and bobs.
Which one am I?
The boob.
You'll find out later.
In the next
But
episode of Dragon Ball Z.
nonetheless, if you did enjoy, perhaps you could drop us a follow. And if you are feeling, oh, so generous indeed, perhaps maybe a subscription? Who knows? Maybe it might be so nice. But that's enough of me for begging. I can leave the begging to Behemoth after this.
Oh, damn it. Sorry if I was,
But
just for those in the stream, sorry if I was looking away for a bit. I was just finishing up my notes real quick because I thought maybe I should really start cataloging these.
But nonetheless, as we go ahead and end out today's session, and go ahead and say that for those of you who wish to see more of this, if you enjoyed it, you can go ahead and catch us just about every Saturday, roughly about 2 o'clock p.m. East, 12 o'clock p.m. West Coast. And for those of you in our European fellowship, you can go ahead and catch us roughly about 8 o'clock p.m. For those German Standard Time, and if they're Spaniards. And if you wish to know more about how you can help us, it's fine. I know we're good. It's still, my timing is perfect. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Thank you, Mike. I don't even want to call you Nose at this point. I'm just gonna call you Mike.
I see. I'm not the only one who catches freaking snarky comments regularly. Sorry.
No, you aren't. But again, you guys go ahead and take care of yourselves, and I will go ahead and release you to Behemoth so he can let you know just about what is left for this channel and what you might be able to enjoy from it.
All right. Thank you very much, Grape.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, first off, I would like to apologize for the technical issues, even though they're kind of, well, I don't technically know if they're out of my hand. I did install a new network adapter, and I don't know if that caused issues, because that seemed to be what fucked up my network. Everything else was running fine afterwards, like after resetting the Wi-Fi adapter, because yes, I am a Wi-Fi peasant. No, I do not have the ability to change that. I wish. But yeah, aside from that, thanks to everyone who showed up. I saw today was a bit more lively than usual, and I really appreciate everyone showing up. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed mainly the others talking, because, my god. First off, I was fucking scared out of my mind that the stream would just drop more frames, and that's why I was constantly looking at everything, which might have led to me being a bit less attentive than usual, or at least seeming it. On the other hand, I can assure you, I hope next week's Saturday will go more smoothly. I will try to troubleshoot what's going on. Thank you for the compliments. I did try to rein it in, but apparently this hair just won't stop, because fucking screw me and my life, apparently. But yeah. I sure hope you enjoyed it. I'll see if I do anything else but stream D&D. Maybe there's going to be some Monster Hunter. Maybe there's going to be Final Fantasy 1. Because I recently acquired the Pixel remaster of that, and I kind of want to play it on stream as well, because it seems like a fun time. And who knows, maybe I'll show up on someone else's stream as well. If that happens, like, feel free to hop over to Discord and, like, check around. I might be fucking bothered to actually message someone, like, fucking chuck an announcement in. But yeah, other than that, I hope you have a lovely evening, night, day, whatever. Time zones are weird. I can't deal with time zones. My brain is not wired to work with that right now. And yeah, enjoy your day.